Hi, it's Samantha. Tonight I want to stop in and I wanted to talk about compassion, which is such a supple topic that's so full of life, full of richness, and it's a space that's filled with endless depth. And it's an opportunity when we tap into our compassion. It's an opportunity that allows us to connect with others on a level that's so very personal, so very intimate. And there's a connection that happens in that space that's almost tangible, because with compassion, even if you don't understand what it is the other person's going through, whether you understand or even know their story, you're open in a space without judgment, without criticism. Your heart is open to just accepting the person as they show up and as they express themselves. And compassion it's like that of love. You can become a compassionate person. It's like becoming a loving person. And in that space, you're no longer this or that. You become it. So it becomes a state of being. Excuse me. And when compassion becomes a state of being, well, that creates more ease and it nurtures more peace, because naturally, judgment and criticism begins to dissolve, because there's no space for that within the space of compassion. And also with compassion, I like to call it, it's like the balm that soothes the aches. Because it's like silk. It's delicate, it's soft, it's not invasive. It feels a whole lot like peace and understanding, even without having to understand or agree with the person, because it's not about us. When we are standing in a space of compassion for another, we're showing up for the other person. It has nothing to do with us. It's not based on what we believe or what we don't believe, or what we think and what we don't think. We are actually holding space, which is like a vessel. It's a safe, sacred space for another to receive that compassion. And in that energetic exchange that we are exchanging compassion, you are igniting that compassion into another, whether they're aware of it or not, because they too then feel seen and feel held and feel heard without the angst of judgment or the fear of being judged or criticized. Because oftentimes, we want to talk about what's bothering us. But one, there's a fear of that we're being negative or being a pessimist, which there's a big difference between complaining, chronically complaining over a problem or an issue, versus needing space to really freely and fully express what it is that is bothering you, that is taking up space within you and within your lives. And when we nurture a space for somebody to freely express whatever that is in a space, by showing up in a state of compassion, what we are doing, we are activating healing. Aware or unaware, it's just being activated, because we are nurturing that person. We are providing a safe, sacred space to just be and say what's needed to be said. And oftentimes we fear saying the things that really bother us because we are afraid that we're going to hurt another, or that we're going to be judging another, or that it may offend somebody, or may sound silly, or may sound horrible, or may sound mean. But honestly, we all need space to really freely express what it is that we need to say. And in a space of compassion, you're opening up that space, which again is safe and sacred, which is two words that I often use, as well as space, because in that realm of exchange, we're letting go of the fear of how are we going to be seen? Am I crazy? Am I, a pessimist? Am I, all these inner dialogues, which you yourself know what it is for you, and it's different for everybody. However, when we walk through life, holding space for compassion, we create an ease all around us. And people gravitate towards that because they feel safe. Most people, what they're seeking, it's not so much advice. It's just a space to say what's on their chest, what's bothering them, what's been bottled up. That's their story. Whether it's a story from their childhood, or a story from last week, or a story from today. These invite healing, and it frees up space within the person as well. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody, or a space where you just really express what was going on for you, and walked away feeling lighter, more at ease? That's what compassion does. And that's why I'd say it's the balm that soothes the ache, because it's not invasive or corrosive. It's just a space without judgment. So I would love to ask you, first of all, how is it? Because how do you show up for yourself with compassion? Because the thing is, and this is really, they always say, you can only love another as deep as you love yourself. Well, it's because of our awareness. We only know what we know. We don't know what we don't know. And then it's the same thing for the experience. So inviting more compassion with yourself deepens your relationship with yourself, deepens your understanding with yourself, and it does too release the judgment, releases the criticism. It's more narrow. It doesn't take up so much space. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It doesn't mean that you're not going to probably have judgments or different things that comes up. No, but you're not going to beat yourself up over it. You're going to have mercy on yourself. You're going to be compassionate. Because at the end of the day, the reality is we are all human and we're all learning. There is no right or wrong. We're trying to figure out how to move through the world and express our experiences and what it is that we're feeling without hurting another, but yet not hurting ourselves by keeping it bottled up. So that's why I say, when you learn to cultivate more compassion from within for yourself, you are creating a safe, sacred space within yourself. And then you understand that. And then when you show up for somebody else, you can do it with much more ease. And even if you see them in their discomfort, you understand it because you've been there. So this is what happens. We become more aware. And in our awareness, well, that's how we can be more present in how we show up, in wanting to show up with more compassion. Because compassion is, I don't know if I have the words accurately to describe what compassion feels like, but compassion does invite a lot of ease, even in the most dire situations, even the situations that are the most difficult. So it's a little bit easier to navigate. And compassion also says it's okay to not feel okay. And somehow that makes not feeling okay, okay. It sounds like a riddle, but really, we're inviting in more peace and more ease. So today I ask you to reflect upon, what does compassion mean for you? And how do you navigate throughout your day and throughout your lives and throughout your interactions with others with compassion? Because with yourself, that's one relationship, yes. But with another, it's asking us to show up and be fully present for them, which has nothing to do with us. Regardless of our beliefs or perceptions, it's asking us to really show up for another person. And in that, there is healing potential. It is filled with a generosity that is ever abundant. And there's a lavishness of aliveness and love, unconditional love, that says, I honor you and I recognize the humanness within you. I see your soul. I see your heart, even though you're struggling. That feels like peace to me. So I would love to know how that feels to you. And if there's anything that you want to add or share or comment on, you are more than welcome. You are so invited to do so. So with that, I send you all my love and all my compassion, wherever this message may find you upon your journey. And know that you're doing a whole lot better than what you think you are. With that, I send you all my love. Until next time. Bye.